What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we're going to be doing my match review, match reaction and match analysis of Manchester City's game against Newcastle United. We're also going to be speaking about Arsenal's match against Bournemouth at home. We're also going to speak about the other team that potentially was in the title race, who in my opinion no longer in the title race. We're going to speak about Man United's match away at Liverpool yesterday at Anfield. So a little gathering of what's happened in the Premier League this weekend and the permutations of what it means for the Premier League and for Manchester City. So before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then please do subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget as well, social media links, they're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen. If you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram, email also in the description below too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Also, don't forget TikTok link in the description. Leave a thumbs up, 100 likes is the aim. Do let me know your thoughts as well in the comments below. And finally, a big shout out to today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by GT Play. You can go and check them out. Links and details there in the description. Remember, use code JSGC5 on checkout and you'll get 5% off. GT Play have very kindly sent me this limited edition Manchester City chair. They've got loads of chairs available. Go and check them out. Links and details there in the description. So, let's crack on with this video. Man City against Newcastle. We went into this game thinking to ourselves there was probably two positions in the team that we were a little bit uncertain of, and that was Man City going to go all-out attack, take off a midfielder, play Julian Alvarez? They didn't. They gave the nod to Kevin De Bruyne instead. The other question was it going to be Mahrez? Was it going to be Foden? How were we going to mix Foden into the team? Because we presumed that Jack Grealish was going to be playing, because it could have been Foden drifting more into the middle and Alvarez starting up top and not playing Riyad Mahrez. It was more about attack and what Man City wanted to go with. Man City just kind of stuck with what they like in terms of the team and stuck with what does work, which is very recently playing Phil Foden on that right-hand side, Jack Grealish on the left-hand side. They'll go with a midfield pairing of Rodri and Ilkay Gundogan, and it was Kevin De Bruyne playing further ahead of him. And what I found very interesting from this game is only one player was substituted, and that was Kevin De Bruyne, which we'll speak a little bit more about later in the video. So, Man City ended up winning this game by 2-0, and that is a great victory for Manchester City. It showcased a couple of things. Number one, Man City know how to score goals. They know how to see teams off, because that's something that has been called into question. We had that away game against Nottingham Forest. We didn't get that killer second goal, and we got punished for it. Man City learning their lessons. They're thinking to themselves, what's the best way of us keeping clean sheets? What's the best way of us putting in a solid defensive performance? Killing the game off, and that's what Man City managed to do. And through Bernardo Silva in the second half, managed to go out there and do that. So all in all, as an overall performance, City having just about more possession than what Newcastle did, with 56% possession to 44% possession. City didn't create all that many opportunities with just 3 shots on target, but a clinical touch from Manchester City. 3 shots on target, 2 goals. Newcastle had 5 shots, 2 of them on target, a couple of saves for Ederson, but no goals. Newcastle didn't show that clinical touch, and Manchester City did. And that was the big difference here. This game caused me a lot of concern. Newcastle very strong defensively. They could be very good on the counter-attack, so this was not an easy game, and this was a really good victory. This victory put pressure onto Arsenal. That's how good of a victory it was. Arsenal was still 2 points clear. They had a game to play. Should be a straightforward game against Bournemouth. This victory put some pressure onto Arsenal, and if one of 2 things don't go their way, all of a sudden they find themselves in serious bother. Arsenal know if they drop any points between now and then playing us at the end of April, then there is an opportunity, if Man City carry on winning games, that it no longer is in Arsenal's hands. It's also going to be in Manchester City's hands as well, and that is what is at stake. And Arsenal, over the last few weeks, they have been flirting with dropping points. Man City, in my opinion, have been playing better football, more solid football. If there is a team right now, from what I have seen, who I think is capable of going and winning the next 7 or 8 Premier League games, Man City are the team that are looking most solid in being able to do that. Arsenal looking shaky. Away against Villa, lucky, got away with it. Against Bournemouth, lucky, got away with it. Some are saying, name on the title, referees doing everything they can to help them to win games by giving them an extra minute on top of added on time, blah, de blah, 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 blah. It's all waffle. At the end of the day, at some point, Manchester City, if they carry on keeping up with the victories and picking up the wins and they get that run of form, at some point, Arsenal will crack. Man City have been here before. We've done that, worn the t-shirt. We've been in both positions. We've chased and overtook and won. We've led, we've stayed there and won. We know what it takes to do both to win this Premier League. And Manchester City, the only thing we need to do, it's not straightforward, but the only thing we need to do to win the Premier League, keep winning our games. Keep winning our games, put the pressure onto Arsenal. At some point, they will drop points. I guarantee you of that. They've got difficult games coming up, and if Man City can continue winning and putting pressure onto Arsenal, their heads will drop, and at some point, the luck will run out. They've had it for 2 games. They carry on doing that. They do that for another 2, 3, 4 games between now and the end of the season. At some point, the luck will run out. The luck won't be there, and they will drop points. So, for Man City, to me, the situation, very clear. We're not playing for another week. We're playing on Saturday. Arsenal are playing on Sunday. Both got difficult games in London. City away against Crystal Palace. Arsenal away against Fulham in a London derby. Anything can happen. What can Man City do this weekend? Make sure we beat Crystal Palace. We beat Crystal Palace. We're 2 points behind Arsenal. And Arsenal must beat Fulham. That's the situation that they're in. Because if they don't, then Manchester City, it's in our hands once more. Arsenal, there's no margin for error. They're under pressure and they know it. It's disappointing that they're 2-0 down and they've managed to come back and win that game, thinking to ourselves, 60 minutes in, here we go, they're dropping some points. They might even lose this game as well. They haven't. That's fine. That's okay. They're going to keep doing it though. At some point, they're going to fall down. They're going to crumble because of it. And in my opinion, if Man City just keep winning and winning and winning, not only will Man City end up overtaking Arsenal, I can see City, and once Man City get into a position where we overtake Arsenal and we end up being more than 3 points clear, if that gets to any point this season, Arsenal are going to struggle to win the Premier League. Arsenal cannot afford to do that. Arsenal must hold Man City off. Arsenal must lead between now and the end of the season. That's the only way they win this Premier League. And from what I've seen from performances recently from them, I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged as a Man City fan. It's disappointed they managed to pick up the win this weekend. That's fine. We'll go again next weekend. And if Arsenal end up progressing in the Europa League, which in my opinion, if they want to win the Premier League, that needs bidding off from them immediately. Why? Because if Arsenal carry on into April, every weekend, they're going to be playing on a Sunday. Man City in Champions League action. Man United taking the Europa League seriously. Whilst Manchester United are playing on the Sunday, Arsenal's playing on the Sunday. They're going to want these games on TV. It means the only time Man City are going to be playing with Champions League football coming means we're going to be going on a Saturday, which means we're going before Arsenal, which means if we carry on winning, the pressure always gets applied. And it might not sound like much, but playing first is a big deal when it gets to the business end of the season, and we are in the business end of the season now. Massive, massive games. 12 games to come, 36 points to play with, 5 points separating City and Arsenal. We've already beaten Arsenal away from home this season. They've still got to come to the Etihad as well. This title race isn't over by any stretch of the imagination. Man City have got a better goal difference than Arsenal too. As I said, just keep winning. We keep winning. I'm confident we'll overhaul Arsenal, and it will come pretty soon as well, because recently I don't think Arsenal have got enough about them. They need Man City to drop points to allow them a bit of breathing space to apply pressure at the top. So if City don't drop points, I can see Arsenal crumbling, and I can see that coming very soon. So that's what I've taken away from this weekend. Manchester United, they've lost against Liverpool. They're 9 points behind City. They're 14 points behind Arsenal. Yeah, they've got a game in hand. The goal difference is +6. Arsenal's is +34. City's is +41. It's an extra point. Manchester United, done and dusted. They've showcased this weekend that Liverpool, whilst they're to be taken very, very seriously, we've got Liverpool coming up just after the international break. Manchester United have showcased they're not ready to win the Premier League title. They're nowhere near that level. And Liverpool have actually showcased what Man City should have done at the Etihad once we'd grabbed a 6. Don't stop. Don't allow them to get back into the game and make the game a little bit more respectful. Put them to the sword. 7-0. It's embarrassing for Manchester United. but it's things you love to see. They're out of the title race now. It's a 2-horse race. Arsenal and Manchester City will win the Premier League title. And as a City fan, I'm encouraged by what I've seen. Got a difficult game coming up on Saturday against Crystal Palace. Must win game. From this game, my analysis, Phil Foden. 4 goals, 3 games. His form is back. Phil Foden's well and truly back. He's one of the first players on that team sheet. Other people have been asking me, Erling Haaland hasn't really been scoring too many goals as of late. Am I concerned? No. He's a top quality striker. And whilst Erling Haaland might be getting marked out of the game and might not be finding as many goals as what some fans might be hoping for, what it is doing is allowing space for other top quality players. Like Bernardo Silva to pop up in the right place at the right time to put the ball into the back of the net. Like Phil Foden, getting space and punishing teams. It allows goals for other players. And that's one thing we've really struggled with this season. Haaland scored all the goals and nobody else has really been chipping away at it. Now, Haaland getting marked out of games, other players are chipping away at it. And Man City, in my opinion, looking very good. And eventually, these players like Foden, like Grealish, like Bernardo, like De Bruyne, once he finds his form again, these players are going to draw defenders away. They're going to have to mark them out because it's fine and well just marking Erling Haaland out. Man City is showing we're not a one-player team. You can mark Haaland out of the game. What are you going to do about Phil Foden on the right or on the left? What are you going to do about Jack Grealish? What are you going to do about Bernardo Silva? What are you going to do about Ilkay Gundogan popping up in the right place at the right time? What are you going to do about Kevin De Bruyne? That's when eventually teams will realise and they'll start to lock horns and they'll start to try and mark these players out and space will appear for Erling Haaland. And as long as we provide him service, he will score goals. Big part Erling Haaland has to play between now and the end of the season. And last player I want to speak about, Kevin De Bruyne. He hasn't been in top quality form. He's one of them players, doesn't need to play well and he can just find a goal or he can find an assist, and it's just one of them players that can really make the difference. The question is, does he deserve to be starting in Manchester City's starting 11? Kevin De Bruyne comes off, didn't play particularly well in this game. Bernardo Silva comes on, scores a goal. That puts De Bruyne under pressure because that to me says Bernardo Silva scored a goal, he's played very well, he should be starting in the next game. Who gets dropped? Well, there's only one player that's been substituted in this game, and that'd be Kevin De Bruyne. And that'd be a bit of a blow to Kevin De Bruyne. So De Bruyne needs to, he set himself such high standards that he needs to start hitting them standards again. And he will, because he's a top quality player. Phil Foden's had not so much a reality check, but he's just questioned himself, and he's worked hard, and he's improved, and he's prospering because of it. And Kevin De Bruyne, one of the best players in the world, one of the best midfielders in the world. No player is exempt from that. He needs to just go back, reflect, improve, and once he finds his form, grabs a couple of goals, grabs a couple of assists, De Bruyne will be undroppable because he's one of the best players in the world. And you want Kevin De Bruyne in and around your starting 11. It's very difficult to get him into the starting 11 with other players finding their form like Gundogan, like Bernardo Silva. How do you squeeze De Bruyne into the team? That's where De Bruyne needs to up his game to get back into the team, because as you've seen with other players, no player is undroppable at Manchester City, and if it's not working, Pep Guardiola will change it. He'll change a formation to suit Manchester City, to suit the team. So, well, De Bruyne will get going again, 100%, guarantee it. He's too good not to get going again. If we can get him going again before the end of the season, that would be brilliant. That could just be the push that takes us to the top of the Premier League. I'm backing De Bruyne to be able to do that, and hopefully he can improve his form soon. There's lots of games. Once we get past the international break, if we make it through the Champions League against Leipzig, and that's not a gimme, but if we do make it past them, then all of a sudden we're playing every 3 to 4 days. Squad rotation is key, and every single player around the Manchester City squad will get minutes. So there's lots of games still to go, lots of things to look forward to. The thing we need to do now, take things one game at a time. I'm very happy with our victory against Newcastle. It's a brilliant victory against a team that's just been struggling for form ever so slightly recently, who are still a very good team but seem to just be dropping off. We've picked up a really important 3 points, and we need to carry that on into our next game to make sure we're getting a run of form and victories in a row. Crystal Palace, a massive game for us on Saturday. And the big news is we go before Arsenal once more, and they've got a very difficult game against Fulham. Fulham are 7th, not an easy team to beat at Craven Cottage. They're going to scrap for everything, and they'll be well up for that game. And if we've got Arsenal under pressure and we're 2 points behind with a superior goal difference, Arsenal could well drop points. We've got a job to do on Saturday against Crystal Palace. Let's go and do it. I believe in the boys. They're my thoughts then. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. Also, don't forget as well, social media links. They're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen. If you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Also, don't forget as well, TikTok link in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. Leave a thumbs up too. And finally, do go and check out today's video sponsor, GT Player. You can go and check them out. Links and details there in the description. There we go. They're my thoughts. Weekend away for JSGC ticked off. We'll be back again next weekend for a live watch along for you guys to look forward to. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.